The city of Lagos never sleeps, but sometimes it forgets to blink. High above the bustling chaos, on the rooftop of Sky Bar Lounge, Zara Adetola lit a slim cigarette with shaking fingers. Around her, the city shimmered like a living thing, restless, ruthless. Dana and Faye were already there, sipping overpriced cocktails, faces glowing under fairy lights. Zara joined them, her voice a blade wrapped in velvet. "I'm tired of waiting for miracles," she said. Dana chuckled, drunk on gin and illusions. Faye looked nervous, twirling her glass. "There's a woman," Zara whispered, leaning closer. "Madame Sibongile. She helps desperate girls, girls like us." "Helps?" Dana smirked. "You mean Juju?" "Not Juju," Zara said sharply. "Something older. Something powerful." She pulled out a small black velvet pouch from her designer bag. Inside was a coin, ancient, carved with strange markings. "This is our price for meeting," Zara said. "One coin, one secret." Faye shivered. What does she want in return? Zara's voice dropped to a whisper. "Every wish cost a life." Silence stretched between them. Somewhere in the distance, a car alarm wailed. "Whose life?" Diana asked, her voice brittle. Zara smiled, a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "That's the path you choose." The city paused below them, hungry, waiting. And above it all, three pretty girls made a pact with the darkness. The room smelled of candle wax and old blood. Hidden deep in the slum of Obalende, Madame Sibogile's shrine was a world apart from the glitzy life they flaunted on Instagram. Madame Sibogile herself was ageless, skin like burnt ebony, eyes like black holes. She wore a robe of crow feathers and smiled with too many teeth. "You want beauty, riches, love?" she crooned. "You must offer what is alive." Faye whimpered when the live crow was brought out. Its wings flapped desperately, sensing doom. Zara did not flinch. She took the knife Madame offered, its blade thin and curved like a smile. She cut. Blood splattered the cold floor. The candles flickered wildly. Madame Simbogile dipped her fingers into the blood and painted sigils on their foreheads. Each stroke burned like acid. Faye cried quietly. Diana clenched her fists. Zara stared into the flame and did not blink. When the ritual ended, Madame Simbogile whispered a chilling warning. "When the blood dries, you'll have what you want, but the dead will come for what is owned." As they left the shrine, the city light seemed colder, and somewhere in the shadows, something watched them. Success came overnight. Zara's Instagram exploded, modeling deals, endorsements. Diana's phone buzzed with attention from billionaires she once only dreamt of. Faye's beauty became haunting. Men tripped over themselves to worship her. But so did the nightmares. Faye woke screaming night after night, clawing at invisible hands, pulling her into darkness. Zara pretended not to notice. Diana noticed everything. She hated how Zara's star shined brighter. Hated how Tunde Akintola, the billionaire everyone wanted, looked at Zara like she was chosen. So Diana went back to Madame Simbogile alone. I want her to lose everything, she hissed. The price? A deeper betrayal. Blood of a sister, Madame whispered, her voice like rustling leaves. It must be given freely. At Zara's birthday party, under the sparkle of fairy lights and laughter, Diana made her move. She handed Zara a glass of wine laced with whispered curses and watched as she drank it, smiling sweetly, poisoning her future with every sip. At first, Zara thought it was stress, the dizziness, the cold sweats, the sudden screams she couldn't remember letting out. Then came the visions, shadows whispering from mirrors, voices under her bed. Faye grew weaker too. She collapsed at a photo shoot, blood dripping from her nose. Her skin grew pale, almost translucent. Doctors found nothing. It's Lagos stress, they said. But Zara knew. She saw Diana's eyes, too bright, too eager when she fainted. She confronted Diana in the parking lot at night, rain soaking them boots. What did you do? Zara demanded. Diana laughed, bitter and broken. I just gave you what you asked for, she said. You wanted fame. Now pay for it. Zara slapped her, hard enough to split Diana's lip, but it was too late. The dead were already coming. The engagement party was supposed to be Zara's crowning glory. Tunde had proposed. She wore a diamond so large it could blind. Everyone who was anyone in Lagos was there. Champagne, laughter, flashing lights. Then the room froze. The music died. The lights flickered. And through the grand doors walked Madame Simbongile, robed in feathers and smoke. Every breath stopped. Zara's ring turned black on her finger. Faye, barely able to stand, collapsed at her feet. Blood oozed from her mouth. Madame Simbongile's voice boomed. Debt must be paid. Diana tried to run, but invisible hands dragged her back screaming. The crowd scattered in terror, but Zara stood frozen. Choose, Madame hissed, your life or hers. Zara looked at Faye, her childhood friend, her sister in everything but blood, gasping, dying. Tears blurred her vision. I can't, she whispered. Then you both die, Madame said coldly. And the shadows closed in. Somewhere in the darkness, Zara screamed, but the city moved on. It always does. The walls of the banquet hall melted into blackness. The scent of blood and burning silk filled Zara's nose as the shadows devoured her. She woke up on cold concrete. Not Skybar, not a penthouse. A forgotten Alice somewhere in the bowels of Lagos. Rats scurrying, neon signs flickering overhead. Faye was beside her, motionless. Her skin was now almost transparent, her veins dark like rivers of ink. Her once beautiful face had hollowed into something skeletal, half alive. Zara crawled to her, shaking her, whispering, Faye, please wake up. Nothing, only a ragged breath. Tears burned down Zara's cheeks. She screamed into the night, but nobody answered. Lagos was too busy. Cars honked. Music blared. Lives moved on. They were forgotten. Then, footsteps. Madame Simbongile emerged from the mist, her crown feather robe dragging across the wet ground. "You were warned," she said softly. Zara bared her teeth, animal, broken. "Take me, let her live." Madame Simbongile chuckled, a low, dreadful sound. The dead chose their own sacrifices. She dropped something at Zara's feet, a mirror. Inside it, Zara saw her reflection, a twisted version of herself, cracked, bleeding, dying. "No!" Zara sobbed, smashing the mirror with trembling fists. When she looked up, Madame Simbongile was gone, and so was Faye. Only ashes remained where her body had been. Ashes, and the faintest whisper, "Death paid." Zara slumped against the wall, broken, alone, rich, beautiful, and cursed forever. The coin, that damned coin, lay heavy in her pocket. Its markings pulsed like a heartbeat. Weeks passed. Zara tried to leave, tried to pretend. Photo shoots, award shows, gala dinners. She smiled for the cameras with dead eyes. Tunde stayed by her side at first, confused by her sudden coldness, the way she flinched when he touched her. Eventually, he stopped trying. She was alone again. At night, the dreams came, worse than ever. She dreamed of Faye, dreamed of Diana, their faces pale, rotten, whispering from the mirrors, "Come with us." She stopped sleeping, stopped eating, stopped breathing properly. Only the money grew, bank accounts bloating, brand deals stacking up, a mansion by the beach. The higher she climbed, the deeper the rot inside her festered. Until one night, at another rooftop party, so much like the first, she saw them. Faye, Diana, and others, dozens of beautiful hollowed-eyed girls, all standing at the edges of the rooftop staring at her. Their mouths moved silently. Pretty girls die rich. Zara screamed, dropped a champagne glass, ran, but no one else saw them. No one ever saw them. Because once you trade your soul, the dead stay with you, always. The ocean roared beneath the cliffs of Lekki as Zara stood barefoot on the edge, her white silk gown billowing like a ghost. The city glittered behind her, fake, hungry, uncaring. In her hand, the ancient coin. In her heart, a hole too big to fill. She thought of Faye's laugh, Diana's jokes, the night they had danced under fairy lights, dreaming of better lives. She thought of Madame Simbongile's smile, all teeth and hunger, and she understood something new. There was no winning this game. You paid or you were eaten alive. Slowly, Zara lifted the coin and threw it into the crashing waves below. The wind howled, the water churned. For a moment, she thought she heard Faye laughing, not in malice, but in freedom. Zara stepped back from the edge. Not tonight, not yet. But the dead would wait. They always waited. And somewhere deep in the maze of Lagos, Madame Simbongile smiled and prepared for her next visitors, because there would always be pretty girls. There would always be dreams, and there would always be a prize.